WDXE.
That is us,
my
the
glasses.
legend, and good grief, we got two legends in the studio.
Hey, what about that? We had legend Kevin Smith here with us.
Kevin
And
Smith and Keith Durham,
Yeah,
and I'm just going to hang on for the ride.
we might be, we might be legends in our own mind, but we've yet to convince anybody else.
There you go.
You're doing all right, my buddy. Oh my gosh, Rodney wants a bikini wax.
Looking all right.
For heaven's sakes.
Who's
From
Rodney?
you or?
He's one of my friends. He was listening to the other segment when we
I
were talking
see.
about the Nashville Beauty School.
Oh, okay.
Oh my
For
goodness!
heaven's sakes.
Thought maybe you picked up a side job there.
No, I just happened to look at that message.
I'll be singing "Working Man" all day.
Working
Working
Man.
Man blues.
Yeah.
all day long.
So what in the world you got going on today,
Man, we
bro?
got a lot of things going on today. So in Matthew chapter 24, it talks about
Yes.
when the end of times come, there will be a lawlessness will increase.
Yes.
I think we're pretty close to it.
You think so?
If things are going like the way I see them on the TV and on the internet. So have you guys heard about this thing right here? It's the city of Chicago. This is from carscoops.com and also saw it on the news. The city of Chicago sues Hyundai and Kia over a steep rise in vehicle thefts. So they're suing the car maker because their vehicles are easy to steal.
Well, how do they justify that?
So
I'd
let
like
me-
to hear that.
Yeah, okay, so I've got the article, so you got to hear this. So they're not the first ones. New York was the first city to sue them. So after New York, Chicago sues Hyundai and Kia due to their vehicles lacking immobilizers and being easy to steal. Now, Kevin's here. Kevin, do General Motors vehicles have immobilizers on them?
They do have an immobilizer system.
So what? I mean, how's that activated? Can I get access to it?
Well, hey, listen, they'll always figure out a way around this stuff, but normal people, no. No, you got to have the key with the little pellet in it, and it's programmed to your car, and that's, that you got to have that to match before it'll let you start it now.
But if you got the key, you can go anywhere. There's nothing like a satellite up in space is not going to immobilize your vehicle,
No,
right?
no. Well, I mean, OnStar can do that. Yeah.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, your car gets stolen, they can go,
They can tell you where it's at, but I didn't know they can turn it off.
oh, yeah, they can stop it.
So why don't they do that when the police are chasing these
They
folks
do.
out? And,
Well, they do, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Have you not ever heard that?
No, I watch these people in California steal these cars, and they're just flying through traffic. I said,
Well, now,
why
if
don't
you're a
they just-
smart thief, you'll disable the OnStar while
Oh.
you're stealing it.
or cancel the subscription.
Yeah, yeah. Well, a lot of people don't have a subscription, so you may not be able to do it.
So I've learned something today. I've been in the car business for 5 years. I didn't know that we had immobilizers on the car.
Yeah.
So, if these things are built
that's
in-
the pellet key deal.
So here's where we're going with this, Jeff. If those things are built in China, what keeps somebody from China from just pushing a button one day and it immobilizes every vehicle in America? Where would we
Well,
be?
now they can't just, like you said, you'd have to have OnStar, and you'd have to have subscription.
Yeah, but if I'm making the circuit boards over in China, I can embed some
Well,
circuitry
yeah.
there or some firmware that would say, okay, if I send this signal from space, it's going to disable
Okay.
this.
Well,
Did you hear my
fine.
quote of the day?
No.
One of the quotes?
No, say that.
Here it is. Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic.
I like that.
So that's what you're talking about there.
Exactly.
So they push the magic button and shut everybody down.
Yeah. It's
So the guy
unbelievable.
with the old '65 truck, you ain't got no worries.
I want to read this to you because you're not going to believe the basis of this lawsuit.
Well, let me hear it. I'm ready.
Okay, so the city of Chicago has sued both Hyundai and Kia in response to the car theft crisis that the city officials say has been fueled by vehicles from the South Korean car manufacturers. Now, they got a new mayor up there, just took office in 2023, and I believe after this lawsuit, I'd start making Bring Back Lori Lightfoot shirts and just start selling them on the sidewalk, But the lawsuit was filed in Circuit Court of Cook County and notes that the Kia Corporation and Hyundai Motor Company failed to equip most cars sold in the U.S. between 2011 and 2022 with immobilizers. The city of Chicago is asking the court to hit the car manufacturer with fines, issuing an injunction to prevent them from advertising their cars as being fitted with key safety features, and wants them to pay damages to the city. My goodness. Last year, now listen to this. Last year, 21,425 cars were stolen in the city of Chicago.
Good grief.
I mean, my goodness.
Yeah.
So they don't have a crime problem up there. It's a car problem,
yeah,
Jeff.
It's all the car's fault.
Yeah, it's the car's fault.
Yeah. So you said New York sued
my
him
gosh.
first. Did New York win?
No, I guess it's still in process.
Okay,
But
all right.
New York filed a suit, and then of course
Okay,
their
then
sister city, Chicago, filed a
followed
suit.
with- okay.
No wonder everybody's leaving the north and coming to the south. we have been Southern people, and I'll just stand up for us right now, Jeff. Southern people has been. We have been mocked our whole lives as being dumb and ignorant and backwoods and all these kind of things and hillbillies. Call us whatever we are, but we know when a car's at fault and when a car's not at fault.
I prefer Appalachian American.
Oh, there you go. Thank you. I've never heard that. Okay. So last year, 21,425 cars were stolen in the city. And 41% of them were Hyundais and Kias. So I'll just stop and give some advice. If you're in Chicago and you're listening to this broadcast today, go trade your Hyundai or Kia off and get something else.
There you go.
What? A
But
Chevrolet, right?
there has always been popular models to be stolen.
Yeah,
Right,
absolutely.
Yeah. And they will always figure a way around it, no matter what you design.
Yeah, people are smart. People are smart.
I remember early 70s, the Chevy Nova was high on the list to be stolen.
Oh yeah.
You remember that?
What?
The Chevy Nova.
Really?
Yeah, they were how they were.
It was hot.
I had a cousin that had one stolen.
So you could just, that's back in the day when you could steal a car, pull it in
Yeah.
the garage, repaint it, and
Yeah,
pull
it
it
was,
back on the
it was
street.
a whole different,
Yeah. So listen to this, though. Things have got even worse this year. Last year's number was 21,425. Things have actually gotten worse this year. Car thefts are already up more than 100%. So that means over 40,000 vehicles have been stolen.
Well, you look at the price of cars; they went up. So
All right, but here's what you got to think. As the story goes on, they want to talk about the class of folks who drive these cars and for what reason, and then they want this technology put on it. So it's almost oxymoronic. So listen for it. You're gonna hear it. The impact of car theft on Chicago residents can be deeply destabilizing, particularly for low to middle income workers who have few options for getting to work and taking care of their families. So here's folks that are struggling that need a good, affordable car to get to work. All right, so that's their thing, and it's hurting them.
Yep.
All right. Mayor Brandon Johnson, who's the new mayor, said failure of Kia and Hyundai to install basic anti-theft prevention technology in these models is sheer negligence. And as a result, a citywide and nationwide crime spree around automobile theft has been unfolding right before our eyes. And he goes on to say the city notes that because Hyundai and Kia vehicles are entry-level models. All right, so think about this. You're driving down the road in a Hyundai or Kia. The city of Chicago thinks you own an entry-level model car. All right. The city notes that because Hyundai and Kia vehicles are entry-level models, they lack engine immobilizers and disproportionately impacting low-income residents in Chicago. It adds that thieves who steal Hyundai and Kia vehicles can use them to commit other crimes like reckless driving, armed robbery, and even murder. So they're saying their whole crime wave,
illegal parking.
their whole crime wave is keyed around these cars. They're stealing these cars and doing other crimes.
Yeah, that wouldn't happen if it didn't have the car.
I mean, it's unbelievable. So, all right, this is about saving lives. Here's a quote from the interim superintendent, Fred Waller. He says this: "This is about saving lives and preventing the violent crimes that these stolen vehicles are used in. As law enforcement, we are doing everything we can to prevent these thefts, but vehicle companies must also be held accountable."
Oh my Lord!
Kia says that the lawsuit is filed without merit. In a statement issued to Forbes and said that it has introduced software update to rectify the issue, and while distributing some 19,000 free steering wheel locks to Kia owners.
I got an idea. Let's send Lanny up there to talk to him.
Yeah, absolutely. Lanny needs to go and talk to these.
You and Lanny go up and talk to him.
I'll drive Lanny up there. He can do the talking.
That's right.
So here's the deal. They have said, okay, low to middle income families are driving these cars. It's because it's the car they can afford. All right, it's the car that low to middle income families can afford, but yet the city is suing to put more equipment on there, which they can't afford. So it's a catch-22. Do you want the equipment on there and the car costs $40,000, or do you want the equipment off and the car costs $20,000?
I got an idea.
What is that?
How about let's just catching the car thieves and stopping them?
I mean, All right, let's pretend like we're a car thief ring right here. And so I'm the leader, and we're having a conversation. I said, all right, boys, we're going to go out and we're going to steal every Hyundai and Kia that we can find because they're not blaming us. It's the car's fault. So rack up, guys.
Unbelievable. All right, let's see who's on the phone. Hey, good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good.
Hey, it would be good for y'all to go up there, but it wouldn't do any good because the fact is you can't reason with an idiot.
You're exactly right.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think you're right, Randy.
All right, y'all have a good day.
Thank you, bud.
That's
That's wisdom from Three Oaks.
that's fine. We'll take Three Oaks wisdom
That's
all
right.
day. So anyway, where does it end? Where does those lawsuits against those car manufacturers end? I mean, there wouldn't be a single drive. There's technology for everything. Okay, we can pretty much say that there's technology for pretty much everything. So I can put a camera in this room and program it to detect if you walk in with a gun, and it will trigger a device. You know, it will like ring an alarm. I could do that.
Right.
So why not put that in a car and eliminate all drive-bys? If you got a gun in the car, your car is disabled. Or if you got a gun hanging out the window, your car is disabled. Their technology is available to do that. Or why not if you're in a car and you're doing over 80 miles an hour and you hear siren, your car hears sirens behind you, why doesn't the car slow down and itself and stuff? I mean, the technology is there. It could hear that. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm just saying.
Are we going to try, and I think we are, to eliminate any personal responsibility whatsoever?
That's it. That's it. Nobody's responsible for their own
Right, yeah.
actions. It's just
Are they going to eliminate personal responsibility completely? And that seems to be what's happening.
yeah. I mean, it's whenever you can stand up as a mayor and say it's not the crook's fault. It's not the crook's fault that the cars are being stolen.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
You made it so easy, they cannot help them.
I mean, how if you were a thief and you got caught, when you go to court, can you not use that as a defense? Hey, even the city of Chicago says it's not my fault. It is the vehicle's fault that I stole it.
Yeah.
Now think about this. I mean, it don't have to stop at vehicles. I'm trying to lose weight, and I'm telling you, I might file suit against Baskin Robbins because their ice cream is too delicious. I can't quit eating it.
Yeah.
I mean, they could make it taste worse, and I'd be better off. I mean,
Yeah. I'm going to have to talk to Josh Pollock.
exactly. He's in trouble. Hey, let's make it class action. I'll go in with you.
There you go.
Oh my goodness.
Whole group of car thieves suing Josh.
Listen,
Listen,
it's all Josh's fault, Johnny Fleeman's fault, and Rick Lanning's fault, and whoever's running Sunrise Bakery.
oh yeah.
It's all their fault.
Craig Kinnick. Yeah, Craig.
Yes. Yes.
So they, so I got this. This really started some things that we can kid around about today. So I thought, man, those lawsuits are just frivolous. And
Yeah.
so, believe it or not, I went to the internet and I said, what are the most frivolous lawsuits ever filed? And I was
There's
surprised that
probably
you
a
were
bu-
talking to Al Betts about that a little
Yes.
bit yesterday. Not about frivolous, but
Yeah.
things that just rock your memory and things like that.
Yeah.
And I want to say on the air while we're here, I saw that interview, or half the interview already. Al Betts is a dear friend of mine. I love him, and what a great interview that was yesterday.
Oh, thank you. I enjoyed it. I really did.
Yeah,
I knew he'd be good. We'd been talking for a while about him coming.
yeah.
Guess who I got coming next week?
Who?
Daphne Cope.
Are you serious? She just celebrated her birthday.
She just celebrated 80.
Yeah.
And I talked to her this week, and she's agreed to come in. Good Lord willing, we'll have her next week.
Yeah, I love Daphne too, but I'm going to tell you, you won't have to ask her questions.
I don't know. It'll be
Just
an
get her
easy
started.
interview.
Just get her started.
All you
That's
got to do is
gotta
say hello, Daphne, and we're off and running.
exactly. Well, I got some cases here that we can discuss today.
Well, I want to hear them.
All right, so first one, this is from ilawsuit.com. Man sues Budweiser for failing to help him attract beautiful women.
He's toted Budweiser's around for days, and nothing's happened, huh?
Budweiser wasn't the first company to use gorgeous and flirtatious women in their ad campaigns. You see it all the time, right?
Yeah.
Nor were they the last. After all, sex sells. So here's where the story goes.
Oh, my Lord. This is great.
All right, so the gentleman here, I'll leave his name out, but he was a beer.
Somebody local?
Do what?
Was it somebody
No, it
local?
wasn't somebody local. And I think I left it out because it's like off of my sheet.
Oh.
All right, so sad, lonely Richard Overton filed a lawsuit against Anheuser-Busch in 1991 because, despite consuming more and more of their beer in order to lure attractive women in their ads, the lager failed to make his fantasies of having beautiful women and fall all over him a reality.
Well, I'll have to say that their marketing ploy at that time was designed to make you think that would happen.
Hey, it's still that way to a certain extent, isn't it?
You know?
Well, yeah, I mean,
You know, think about what is it? One of them that's always on the beach now. One of the beer ads
That's
is
Corona.
Corona. They're always on
Oh.
the beach, right?
Yeah.
And of course, you know what makes you attractive and attractive to others is that beer,
It's not the
according to
beach.
the commercial.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Hey, if you're going to be in the crowd and have a good time on the
Yeah.
beach, you got to have beer. You know, and then I go to the beach and get sunburned.
So I think maybe I'm with this guy.
I might. Hey,
And I'm just kidding. I'm
I
just.
may sue
I'm
Corona
being-
because I didn't drink any Corona, so I guess you got to drink it.
at least purchasing it.
But that's the genius behind their marketing schemes.
Oh yeah,
It is.
If you sold wheelbarrows, you wouldn't want somebody ugly up there selling you wheelbarrows. You want a pretty girl saying, "Hey, come buy this wheelbarrow."
Yeah.
Man, you'd be buying wheelbarrows. Of course, now you might sue them if you buy the wheelbarrow and you don't get the pretty girl. But,
Well, you know, in today's advertising, they sort of dulled down on that a little bit as far
well,
as
yeah, even the Corona, you know, they
being
got Snoop
sexist
Dogg,
and
and I don't
things like
think he's that great looking. But,
right.
Well, locally we got Mike Watson selling wheelbarrows.
Yeah, and man, he
But
don't
not,
he don't
but
drive
not
you.
in, but he don't do it in a swimsuit that I know of.
Exactly. He don't drive you. Mike doesn't drive you to go out and drink a few beers either.
maybe Mike put on that swimsuit. And he sell a bunch of wheelbarrows.
Sells some wheelbarrows.
There'll be women lined up.
And
Mike,
some-
so we're gonna start a new ad campaign for Mike. Put on some swim trunks.
put on some
and
swim
buy a
trunks
wheelbarrow.
and some flip flops, and he could sell more wheelbarrows.
Yeah, get a kiddie pool out front. I mean, that would
Oh,
be
he
a
looked
great
good out
campaign.
there, sitting in that wheelbarrow. And
I like the plan.
So Mr. Overton had sued Anheuser-Busch for $10,000, claiming that he had suffered emotional distress,
Yeah.
mental injury.
Well,
and
what I want to know, did he
financial
win
loss.
anything?
No, he lost it. The case was dismissed.
All right.
So I wonder if he
Well, he only went for $10,000.
That's probably the amount of beer he bought is
Oh.
the 10,000. That's what I'm
Well,
guessing.
no, yeah.
I don't know that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
He should have asked for more.
yeah. So here's one that I may do later on. A man wants to legally change his age. In 2018, a 69-year-old Dutchman wanted to legally change his age in order to avoid ageism. Have you been a victim of ageism? I don't know. I had to look
What
that
is
up.
ageism?
I guess it's the effects of getting old, or
Is it age discrimination? Is that
it is.
different?
That's part of it because that's what he's saying here.
Yeah.
So his name was Emil Rothbahn. All right. Emil Rothbahn claimed he felt discriminated against because his real age was affecting his job prospects as well as his chances of success on Tinder, a popular dating
What
app.
was his name again?
His name was Emil Rothbahn. Ratelband.
Is he kin to Ralph Cinnabon?
I don't know. He might Ricardo Montalban, maybe.
Okay.
So the judge explained that many rights and obligations are age-based and that changing the legal age could cause many other complications, and the case was dismissed. So basically,
How long ago was this?
that was 2018.
So
And
what,
he was saying that being 69 years old on Tinder was.
well,
But does anybody ever put their real age or real picture on those things anyway? I don't.
know.
I've never been on a dating app. Have you?
oh,
No.
No, you've been married the whole time.
been
the
married-
internet's been
I've been
around.
married forever.
I think we've all been married since the internet. Well, maybe.
Yeah.
I like how you looked at me and said that.
Well, I mean, I've probably been married less than you have. How long you been married?
CJ, she's
Both?
this time or the other time?
Either time.
Oh,
Both combined, maybe.
Yeah, 11 this time.
Okay. So Amy and I have only been married 24 years, so
Trish and I just celebrated 44.
I know it. That's awesome.
So anyway.
That is awesome.
Okay,
So here's
yeah,
here's
we
a,
were before computers.
yeah. So you
And
know,
Tinder.
so you had to go date the right way. You had to ask her and talk to her mom and dad and things
Yeah.
like that. And,
Yeah.
You know, maybe that's we can start a dating app and then there's got to be a little button on there. Can I speak to your mom and dad? And get their permission.
I'm
to,
sure that would go
Get their
great.
permission to call on you. What? I mean,
Oh, we could enter a whole discussion here about that and what's because marriage in America has completely fallen apart.
It has, and it might be because of that. Because people don't, the guy doesn't call on their parents to say, "Hey, do I have your permission to marry your daughter?" I did ask Amy's daddy, could I marry
Well,
her?
in my opinion, it's a complete abandonment of biblical marriage.
Yeah.
And what it means.
Yeah, I agree.
So anyway, well, that's a whole different deal.
So 2017, which hasn't been too long ago, it was pre-COVID though, so you can't blame this on COVID.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, a woman was shocked that jelly beans contain sugar. All right. All right, and here's the reason. Sugar has 61 different names, so it stands to reason that some people may not recognize the
didn't realize it
ingredient
had many different names.
when it reading the nutrition label. This happened to a California woman, of course, who sued jelly bean maker Jelly Belly for using the term evaporated cane sugar. So instead of saying,
It's got sugar in the
I'm sorry, evaporated cane juice.
Oh, okay.
Evaporated cane juice. She
Evaporated
didn't.
cane juice.
Yeah, you know what evaporated cane juice is?
Sugar.
It's sugar.
Yeah.
So if you go up here to the Amish during the,
Did she win?
it was dismissed.
Dismissed.
So here's what she says, though. She sued Jelly Belly for using the term evaporated cane sugar instead of just the word sugar. So Jessica Gomez of San Bernardino County alleged fraud, claiming the company was misleading consumers about how much sugar the snack actually contained, even though total grams of sugar per serving was clearly displayed on the package. The case was dismissed. So, all right. So here's one that we could all do today. A man sues his date for being on her phone during the date.
Well, yeah.
I mean, think about this. When you go out to a restaurant, I really try, and it's tough to do. I really try to leave my phone alone when I'm eating because I like to have a conversation with folks I'm eating with. And you look around, and there'll be like husband and wife or boy and girl on a date, and they're both looking down at their phone. I don't know if that's the way they're conversing or they're just ignoring each other or
Sitting there texting each other instead of talking.
yeah, I mean, I was in Sunday school one day and I had my kids. I looked up, my kids were looking down at their phone. I said, "You guys like texting each other? You're like sitting next to each other, just talk."
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy.
They in a group chat.
I've really tried to make an effort to not be on the phone when we're out as a family.
Yeah.
And listen, I've been guilty of it, but we've really tried to make an effort to put them away and have the kids not be on them or us be on them at all.
So, do you guys have a family, like a regular family thing that you guys do?
Yes.
As far as going out and eat and stuff like that.
Well, it seems like we're always on the run. It seems like so.
Yeah.
We eat out more than we should anyway. So we have a regular, but we always are out. So
Yeah, we're the same way, but we tend to on Thursday night. We tend to get in on the trivia at the Mexican place.
Really,
Yeah, we love it, and we've won a couple times.
Have you really?
Yeah,
What do you win?
free food the next time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's not all free, but you get a 30
we've been
or
there,
40
we've
bucks.
been there a time or two. We haven't made it a habit, but it is fun.
Yeah, it is, and you psych other people out, because there's some tough answers,
Mm-hmm.
and then when you miss it, even if you miss it, you go, yeah. You'd be the only people in the whole place.
Yeah.
I got it over here.
In your face.
That's like being on the golf course and hollering another birdie.
Yeah, exactly. Eagle! Standing 400 yards out. Oh, my goodness. So the man sues his date for being on her phone. This was in 2017 also. Many people have a story about a date gone wrong. You ever had a date gone wrong?
Oh, yeah.
Can I tell you about my date gone wrong?
Well, of course you can.
Teresa will tell you about the date gone wrong. It went right for me.
Oh, it did? So I will leave. I will definitely leave this girl's name out for her protection.
She local?
No.
Oh, okay.
This actually happened to me, and I lived in Washington D.C. for several years after I left Lawrenceburg, and
It's like in your early 20s.
it is in my early 20s. I was a single guy. And,
Single guy, stud,
Yeah.
muffin, out there a date.
Hey, listen, I was just in the world,
y'all
I
meet?
guess. So we met at work.
Oh.
So I worked at the Pentagon during the day, and at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we had an office over in Skyline City. A place called Skyline City is over on Seminary Road.
Yeah.
And
We have no idea.
You have no idea where that's at, but it's inside the Beltway. Everything's inside the Beltway. And so there was a young lady at the front desk, and we'll just say her name is Kim. because it was Kim. I won't say the last name.
Okay.
So I told you I wasn't going to say the name anyway, but her name was Kim, and she was always having this sob story about I've got nothing to do today, or this weekend's going to be boring sitting around and all this kind of stuff. And so there was another guy in our office named Mike, and Mike says, "Hey, why don't you go ask Kim out and you guys go have dinner or a steak or something and go watch a movie or something?" I said, "Okay, I'll do that." So I'll go up there, and she says, "Sure, come get me." She gave me directions to her house and everything, and so I get ready and I go down there, and I knock on the door, and she goes, "Hey, come on in. I want you to meet my husband." I'm like, "Hey, guys!" I said, "Are you being serious?" And so, hey, that's a true story. I like to flipped out. I almost flipped out.
So did he like one of them?
So your buddy set you up. Did he know? Did he know?
Listen, being a nice guy I took her. We went.
Wait a minute. What about the husband?
Hey, I asked him to go. I didn't know what else to do. I thought, well, I'm just get shot right here. And I said, "Hey, you want to go?" And he's like, "No, man, you guys go have a good time." And and I'm like, "What?" I mean, this is a person I've been working with for a couple of years. I didn't know her. I didn't know she was married. She sure didn't act married. But let me tell you, that was the last time that happened. And I'm not saying that was the right thing to do. I did the wrong thing in that.
Oh, my gosh.
And I will admit to that on the air.
Well,
That was the wrong. Listen, there was nothing that.
Well, that's kind of like getting hit in the face with a wet mop there.
So let me tell you. Yeah, I'm telling you.
It's like, what in the world?
And it got worse all night long.
Yeah.
So we go to, I can't remember where. It was like Red Lobster, I believe. But she used no utensils. I mean, she like pushing stuff in her mouth with her fingers. I'm like, that's the most gross thing I've ever seen.
Now you see why her husband didn't want to come.
You might be right. I can't watch her eat.
Evidently, he's been trying to get rid of her.
I'm telling you. So that was my bad date story. Listen, when I was growing up, I didn't date a lot. I was so engrossed in what I was doing. And when I moved to Washington, D.C., I went to work, I went to bed, I went to work. That was my routine. And so it was new to me to go out on a date, and especially when that take place, I didn't know what to do.
So next time you ask somebody, you say, "Do you have a husband?"
Well, we come back to work the next day, and she said, "You should have seen the look in your eyes when I said
I
that."
bet, yeah.
I'm like,
I bet.
yeah.
I bet. Oh,
So
my
anyway.
Lord, that's hilarious.
Oh, and then everybody at the office, like, I guess they knew, So anyway,
That's hilarious.
it never happened
I think
again.
that's a qualifier, though, if we ask somebody out, is do you eat with, a fork?
Yeah.
The only thing,
You know how to use a napkin.
yeah. The only other thing that's more gross is watching somebody lick an ice cream cone. That is my other gross out thing. It's just, I don't know why, but licking an ice cream cone to me has got to be the grossest thing I've ever seen. So I won't even watch it. If you're eating ice cream, I'll be looking the other way most times.
So wait a minute.
Let's go back to this.
Lots and lots of people eat ice cream
Yeah.
cones
I agree,
from kids on up.
But here's what happens is that hardly anybody gets the ice cream off their tongue. And so on the second lick, it's a mouthful. You see a mouthful of, ugh. And so I don't know. It's just me, guys.
So how do you eat ice cream cone?
Here's the way I do it. My dad taught me the right way.
There's a right way and a wrong way to eat ice cream.
You better believe it. And listen, Joe Durham was the
Yes.
king of eating ice cream cones.
Okay.
All right. So the best part of the ice cream, and listen, if you're listening to this or watching this and you got to write this down, take a notepad out and write this down.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, go ahead.
Only here would you.
Exactly. Here's the right way to eat it. And I might demonstrate this one day.
We're bringing ice cream next week.
If you get an ice cream cone, take another ice cream cone and put on top of it. So you get cone with every bite. All right? That is an awesome way to eat ice cream cone. All right?
But don't lick it.
But if you the best way to do it is get it get a cup to go with it. Like if you're going to Baskin Robbins or something, and I love Rocky Road ice cream, I get a double scoop of Rocky Road with a sugar cone. And what I do is I get it in a cup. They give you a cup, you turn it upside down, and you crush that cone on top of it, and you eat it with a spoon.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm telling you, that is the way to do it.
Well, I am a fan of eating ice cream with a spoon.
I am too.
I never eat it on the cone.
Yeah. And my dad, the thing I learned from my dad is that if you can get cone in every bite, you've got a better ice cream cone.
Okay.
So that makes sense?
I don't even care for the cone.
You don't? Oh my gosh, that's like the
don't.
best part. The sugar cones are unbelievable.
I don't like them.
You're not a waffle cone person?
I know I don't like it's too flimsy for me. I like crunchy sugar cones.
Yeah, I don't. I just soon do I just need to get it out of the way so I can eat the ice cream.
Straight to the ice cream.
Do you ever stir it up and make it into a slurry and then eat it like that?
Oh, yeah. I always like it melted a little bit.
Yeah, I like it like that too.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're talking about this man suing this lady for being on the phone.
Yeah.
And a bad date.
That's a bad
Amy,
date.
if you're watching this, I'm sorry if you never heard that story. I think she's heard it before, though. Maybe, I hope.
You never told me you were dating a married woman.
I didn't know that I did. I didn't date her. Took her out to dinner.
One date, right?
Yeah.
You didn't go back for.
And I'm probably the only person on the face of earth got permission from her husband.
Yeah, that was kind of surprising. I mean, if somebody come to date my wife, we having a conversation.
I got a suspicion that had happened before with this couple.
Well, here's the deal, and
apparently because of the way she eats.
oh
Kim can't eat right.
yeah, Kim, if you're listening today, I'm sorry if you still eat with your hands.
You probably lick ice cream cones too.
She probably does.
But anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm trying to clear my brain of that thought.
Her eating or licking
what
ice
kind
cream
of
cones?
meal did she have?
It was like fish and it was like stuff you get at Red Lobster, and it was like I mean, it was like
Did she even make the noise?
I don't know. Oh my goodness!
Oh my gosh. Okay.
But I'm sorry if that I don't know. That's a story. We've all done things in our past that we learn from and never do again.
Well,
that was definitely one of them.
You got to learn.
So many people have a story about a date gone wrong, but most would forget about the whole ordeal as soon as it was over. And I did until today. Brought that back up. A 37-year-old from Austin, Texas, however, could not let go of his bad experience and sued his date. He was so offended that his date spent time that they were at the movies watching Guardians of the Galaxy 2 that she was texting on her phone. Now, do you see this all the time in the movies? You ever see people texting on their phone when they're in movies?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
No, I'm watching a movie.
I am. Hey, listen, and we'll talk about movies later on.
Okay.
All right. But they were watching Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I haven't seen either one of those.
You need to see them. They're fun.
Yeah.
He claimed that her behavior was breaking theater rules and affected his movie watching experience. So she agreed to pay him $17.31 for the cinema ticket if he would leave her alone. So he withdrew the lawsuit.
So he won.
He won $17.31.
Yes.
Good for her.
Boy.
And then we were all affected by this, and this was not a frivolous lawsuit. We were all affected by this, and the outcome of it is that in 2016, a teenager measured his Subway foot-long sandwich, and it was only 11 inches. You remember that?
This.
I do remember this. Just barely.
Fast forward 3 years, and the company was settling a class action lawsuit in court, promising to make its rolls 12 inches. And so the only people to benefit from the lawsuit were the attorneys who were about to receive $520,000 in fee. And the judge agreed with the activist and legal writer Theodore Frank that this was not fair, and he dismissed the settlement and the entire case. But as a result, we get foot-long Subway sandwiches now. Isn't that awesome?
I don't. I'm gonna have to go measure. I don't believe so.
You don't think? Right, so we'll measure the next one that we get.
Well, they do say they're foot long.
I'm the only guy today that has talked about a date gone wrong, and you guys are just sucking it in. And I didn't have any confessions across the board. So.
Oh man, no.
Anyway, we won't go there.
Well, now he told you about his date. He went great for him, but
Yeah,
Well-
well, bad for his wife.
Teresa and I started dating in high school, and of course, I didn't really have very many dates prior to that, really,
Yeah,
at all.
I didn't
Had
date
a
anybody
few,
in
had
high
a
school that I
couple,
know
a
of.
few, one or two, and I was rejected by most.
Me too.
So there you go.
I mean, if I wasn't playing the music at prom, I would have just no. I take that back. Yeah, I don't know if you remember.
surely you would have had.
I went to Cheryl Beavis. I went with the prom with Cheryl Beavis. You remember Cheryl?
Yeah.
Cheryl's a great person.
Did she
Still
eat with
Cheryl.
utensils?
So here I was kidding around with Cheryl. I think we went to Crockett Park to eat, and she made.
Ooh la la.
That was back when Crockett Park still had buffet, I guess,
Well, yeah.
at dinner time. I think that's where we went. I can't remember. Can you remember?
What?
Where he went to prom?
No.
What, celebrate?
No, but I told Cheryl, she lived way out on the west end of town. And I said, hey, make sure that you eat before you leave and walk to the edge of the road. And I was kidding around with it. But when I worked in Nashville, I got to Cheryl and Liz Shirley lived together, and they worked for Aaron Tippin up there. Or they worked for a production company or something with Aaron Tippin, and so she's working with country music stars and up there and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool.
That is cool.
Turned out to have a pretty cool
That
job.
is cool.
So here is another lawsuit that we might can be familiar with. Biola Daniel and Abel Duran of New York and Tarika Perkins from Mississippi believe that Tootsie Roll Industries Incorporated tricked people by underfilling junior mint boxes. So they're suing for the empty space in a junior mint box.
Well,
And there is empty space there because because in the movies, you rip the top off the box, and what do? You don't hold the box up and shove it in your mouth. You reach down with your index finger and you try to fish them out, and it's a pretty good ways down to start fishing out.
So
junior mints.
a lot more box than necessary.
Yeah, a lot more box than necessary.
Well, they make Raisinets.
Oh, I love Raisinets.
Yeah.
Golly. My problem is I eat the whole thing.
And of course, they're healthy because it's fruit.
Can we sue Nestle makes Raisinets, right?
Yes.
So we're being tricked to think it's a healthy food
no, he
because
just
there's
told you it's
raisins
healthy.
involved.
Because it's healthy.
Yeah, but it's not all healthy. And the only fiber you would get is if you ate the box. So that Red Bull actually didn't give you wings.
I thought you were going to say there had no bull in it.
I mean, how stupid you got to be? That's crazy.
No, you just made that up, right?
No, I'm serious.
What?
Customers are disappointed that Red Bull did
my
not energize them. Red Bull's famous slogan, "Red Bull gives you wings," got the company.
Where was this at?
This was, I don't know.
Oh.
All right, it says it's a class action lawsuit, so it's across the company. A class action lawsuit accused the company of having misleading ads and making false claims. Plaintiff says the energy drink did not give people wings, even figuratively speaking. Or even figuratively speaking. That is.
That was so stupid, I thought you just made that up.
No, I'm
Man,
telling you. So anyway,
So there was a
Goodness.
suit.
Red Bull settled out of court for $640,000.
They settled on it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Why can't we just sit around and think this stuff up? All we got to do is file a suit. Looks like, my goodness, I'm in the wrong business.
You need to be in the suing business, is what you're saying?
Have you ever drank a Red Bull?
I have never.
I've
I've
tried
never
it
had a Red
one
Bull.
time.
I don't like energy
I've
drinks.
never had an energy drink, period.
It tastes like a 9-volt battery to me. You ever put a 9-volt battery
Well,
on your
yeah,
tongue?
now that you mention it, it's a weird taste.
Yeah, I don't like
You
that
drink
taste.
coffee? Doesn't that give you energy?
Well, coffee's not an energy drink.
Oh,
No.
that's old school energy drink.
Well, I
thought.
guess. I guess you could say that.
So,
But coffee doesn't claim to be an energy drink.
yeah, you're
No, it
right.
just claims to be coffee.
It's
Don't it?
just coffee.
Oh, me. So I
Coffee could give you something besides wings, but
sometimes you need wings to get to where you're going. The effects of coffee. So, my goodness. People are turning off radios everywhere
they're like,
across the country.
what in the world are these goofballs talking
I'm
about?
telling you. So, if you are out there and you didn't know that Red Bulls didn't really give you wings, you've got some issues.
And you apparently got some money coming to you.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. I followed. Look, check into the
Yeah.
lawsuit. $640,000 was given out. So.
Well, you've got to get to the McDonald's one.
That was the first one on. I didn't write that down because it was like the one they all start. Did
It
start
all
from.
started with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The woman spilling hot coffee on her. She won a huge lawsuit.
She
though.
did. She won a huge lawsuit because
Yeah.
the coffee was hot,
Yeah,
which made no sense to any. That's what started the avalanche.
it is. And that's what I was saying about these car manufacturers. Where does it stop with those car manufacturers? 'Cause
Yeah.
you can have technology in your car that pretty much does anything for you, and now you're going to sue the car company because it's not there. And then you're going to be mad at the car company because the vehicle's not affordable to the low and middle income folks. I mean, okay, here's one that just blows my mind. A kidnapper sues hostages for escaping.
What?
2012. Here's where this is during mine and your lifetime.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Jesse Dimmick, a fugitive facing a murder charge, kidnapped a Kansas couple in September 2009. At some point, he fell asleep, and they escaped. They sued Dimmick for $75,000 in damage, and his response was to countersue them for breach of contract. He claimed that he and the couple had a legally binding oral agreement for them to hide out from the police. I mean, my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
So he sued them for escaping from him. And
That's funny.
his side was dismissed. But here's something that we can all identify with, and maybe not, I don't know.
Something we can get behind.
Husband sues his wife over an ugly baby. This happened, folks. It's written on. This may have
He didn't have nothing to do with it.
This may have came from White and Betts. I'm not sure. It might have happened right here in our own hometown. What did your parents say when they rolled you out? It's like, oh my goodness gracious!
It's all your fault. It's come your side of the family.
Where does this stuff take place? I tell you guys, I drank one too many cups of coffee today.
That reminds me of a story. I won't mention names, but it was a friend of mine years ago, and they had a baby, and he was telling this story, and the concern was the doctor was concerned about the size of the baby's head. The baby's head was big, and so he'd mentioned it a time or two. It wasn't really a big concern, but he mentioned doctor kept mentioning it. So the mama got mad. He said, "There's nothing wrong with his head. Look at his daddy. His head."
His daddy got a big block head.
Big old watermelon head.
Oh my goodness.
There's nothing wrong with that baby's head. Look at his daddy.
Oh my goodness. And then Mr. Kool-Aid comes out of the wall or something.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Doctor's like, ain't nothing wrong with this kid. Oh me. So the husband sues wife over an ugly baby. So the boy meets pretty girl, boy marries the girl, and they have kids. One similar tale did not have such a happy ending. However, this was happening in China. Jian Feng from
think I
China,
read this one.
saw his newborn daughter, who he said was incredibly ugly
Oh my goodness.
and did not look like either parent. He accused his wife of cheating on him, and at that point, she admitted that she had had plastic surgery.
Yes.
And so before they'd met, that she had had plastic surgery.
she
So
was-
he
she
sued
was
on the
ugly.
ground. Yeah, he sued on the grounds of false pretenses, claiming she misled him by hiding her cosmetic history. So she was ugly.
She was ugly. Got it
Oh,
fixed.
my gosh.
Tricked him into getting married.
Hid the fact that she was really naturally ugly.
and the problem was they had an ugly baby. But that's oh my goodness.
That's too bad. That's too funny.
So he can say, "Look at her."
You know, they have pretty baby contests all the time. Did you ever have any ugly baby contests? Or,
You know they should.
yeah, at the fair. That should
That
be
was-
a
We
thing at the
could
fair.
invent a new category.
Ugly baby
The ugliest baby contest. We would get in so much trouble.
We know the guy who's the manager of the fair. Let's get that put in there. Issue.
We
Yeah,
would get in
we'll
so much
sponsor it.
trouble over that.
Oh, you think?
Yes.
What about who turned out the ugliest?
Who turned out?
Yeah,
the
so
ugliest?
have like a before and after. Have a baby picture and then a 30 years later picture. And see what.
Oh my gosh. That would be fun too.
And
wouldn't
just
it?
call it before and after. You know, I don't know about you guys, but when I go to the fair, the exhibits is where I go. I love the exhibits. I'm not a rider. I will walk around with the kids and let them ride and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But I'm a food eater and
That's it. I eat food.
Yeah.
But listen, I like the produce.
Yeah.
I like to see whoever grew those 300-pound watermelon. God bless you. And I don't know how you got them there, or those 700-pound pumpkins.
Yeah. You were talking about the ugly. You remember Phyllis Diller?
Yeah,
You remember Phyllis
and
Diller?
yeah. You talking about ugly?
Yeah. You know what she said?
What?
She said, "I was born ugly, then somebody scared me."
Oh my.
But you know, actually, she got to be better looking as she aged.
Yeah, I can
If you
remember.
think about it.
Of course, now she done a lot of makeup and stuff like that too to make it.
Well,
Makeup got better, Jeff.
Yeah.
yeah,
After,
well, it could be that.
you know,
too,
you paint a barn so many times, it eventually it's pretty good.
Exactly.
But
but smooths it out.
Anyway.
Who was the lady on Hee Haw that always had her hair up in rollers?
Oh,
And,
Lord, she could play a banjo.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know that.
You remember that? You remember
No.
She'd had. Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah.
And she blacked her teeth
Yeah, she
out.
black one her teeth
Yeah,
out.
but she was always
Always
ironing. Yeah.
She was also a banjo player.
Oh, really?
I can't think of her name. Somebody out there will know.
Was she really good looking,
Yeah.
or was she just really ugly?
No, she's
No,
great.
no, she was an
pretty.
attractive lady.
Oh, okay.
But she would make herself up not to be.
Yeah.
And rollers in her hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a fun show.
It was. I love Hee
I
Haw.
still love Hee Haw.
The best one is when they're laying on a hay bale.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, boy, that girl sure got some pretty legs. And the other guy's laying there next to him. He said, boy, I sure wish I was looking that way. Now, that's about as lazy as you
That's
get.
pretty lazy.
Oh, me. And the ugly baby saga here, the guy won the lawsuit, and his wife,
No way.
His wife was ordered to pay him $120,000.
So did he have to pay half of it?
No.
Since he's married to her?
To what?
He won the case, and his wife was made to pay more than $120,000. Here's somebody
my
wanting to know
gosh.
why I want to play country music.
Hey, good morning. You're on the air with us.
Oh, Lord.
Hey, how are you, sweetheart?
I'm ugly.
Oh, no.
Oh, come on now.
And I
No.
can't help it.
No
I
way.
do everything I can to be pretty, but I can't be pretty.
I know exactly who you are. You're
I
a wonderfully
know.
attractive lady.
Don't say my name on the air. I don't want to be recognized. Y'all are absolutely killing me this morning. I think this is the best program you've had.
Oh, me.
I was sick when I woke up, but Lord, I'm better now.
You better
We're
now.
cured. Hallelujah.
Yeah. Y'all just keep on. I'm going to keep on laughing, and y'all keep on working.
Yeah, we got a couple more. Hey, I'll tell you what makes a beautiful woman for me is what's on the inside. And and as men get older, that becomes a reality.
That is true.
Well, that
is
and you
what-
can use eating utensils.
Yeah,
Well, I must be awfully pretty inside, is all I got to say.
I would agree with that.
You are a beautiful lady. Thank you, hon.
Thank you. You're a darling. Bye-bye.
What a great call. So
Yes, indeed.
I got a couple more. And sleeping student sues teacher for waking him up.
That's beautiful.
I mean,
Really?
has that ever happened to you?
That's beautiful right there.
So-
No, but the preacher, I may sue him.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. You're on WDXE with us.
Hey, the lady on Hee Haw was Ronnie Stoneman, and not only did she play music, but her whole family, the Stonemans, played music.
I'm going to look that up.
Yes.
The Stonemans. I'm going to
And
look
when
that up.
she was fixed up, she wasn't ugly.
No, not at all.
No, she's very
Not
pretty.
at all.
I'm writing that down. Stonemans.
Y'all have a good day.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Ronnie Stone.
I knew somebody would know.
Yeah.
Her name is Ronnie?
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Played
Ronnie
banjo.
Stoneman.
That,
She
I
was
wrote
a
that
hoot.
down.
She was a hoot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody on that show was a hoot.
Yeah, they were.
So in 2008, the parents of Danbury High School student Vinicius Robaker said that her son suffered a hearing loss after his teacher slammed her hand on the desk to wake him up during a math class. The family sued the school board, and the city, but apparently the case fell on deaf ears and was dismissed. So I had Colonel Maddox in school. Do you guys have Colonel Maddox?
I did not.
I did not have him, but he was at the high school when I was there.
Lovick Vernon Maddox was his name.
He was there.
He was a colonel in the
I
Air
always
Force.
admired his shoes.
I'm telling you, awesome shoes.
Yes.
And Cleo Hammond had patent leather polished shoes also,
yeah.
all the time.
I did have Cleo.
Yeah. So do you remember his shoes?
Oh, man. Oh, and dressed nicely.
I'd be over here doing this right here, and he'd go, Keith, you having a heart attack over there? I'm like, no, Mr. Hammond, I'm not. I'm just tapping my pencil on my desk. And he'd call you out in the middle of class.
Oh, yeah.
But Colonel Maddox, I remember him saying the one thing that he regretted in life is that while he was flying over Hanoi, he didn't drop a bomb on Jane Fonda.
Oh, Jane Fonda.
Yeah, and so
She,
anyway,
she was not fondly thought of.
no, you're exactly right. So, especially for anybody who fought in the Vietnam War,
That's right.
and things like that. But Colonel Maddox was in Vietnam, and he became a school teacher at Lawrence County High School. And you could pretty much do any. I had him for civil something, I can't remember, but we sort of learned how law was practiced there, and learned the rules of the nation and things like that. And so anyway. You could go to sleep in this class as long as you didn't bother anybody else, and you couldn't spit in the radiator. So that was the other thing. Don't spit in the radiator, and if you're going to
What
put
kind
your
of hooligans was y'all spitting in radiators?
hey, did that ever happen to you or
No.
when you were in school?
No, I never spit in the radio.
When I never did it, but people did. So people dipped.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and when we got to high school, you know, back in Crockett and E.L. Kaufman, we had those stand-up radiators that were just steel. You know. But when you got to high school, you had the box type that just had a grate on top.
Yep.
And people would spit down on those things, and it was okay during the summer. But when winter time
Oh, I
came and
can
you turned the
imagine.
heat on, it smelled horrible.
Not good.
Not good. So
Good
Colonel Maddox
grief.
would not let you spit in the radiator.
I don't blame him.
So thank you, Colonel Maddox. And Colonel Maddox has since passed away, but he was a great guy. And I don't know how we got off on that. He would.
So you fell asleep in this class?
No, he would let you as long as you didn't bother anybody else in class.
Okay.
All right, so we got one more, and this hits home to us because woman sues for false weather prediction. I mean, my goodness.
I'm liking this where
I'm
this is
liking it
headed.
already. And it was settled out of court. A woman from the Israeli city of Haifa was sued well-known television weatherman Danny Rupp for a false weather forecast. Rupp had predicted sunny weather, and it rained. Based on the forecast, she left her house unprepared for inclement weather, took ill, and missed work, she claimed. And the woman said Rupp's forecasts were legally binding, and she won $1,000 in an out-of-course.
How's that legally binding?
I don't. Is if it is still today? I'm fixing to start a new business of filing suit against weather forecasters.
Maybe we should just start a frivolous lawsuit law practice.
I think we should just go around thinking about junk that we can file a lawsuit on and just do it.
Just try it. Huh?
Maybe we should form a corporation to do this.
I agree, 100% agree.
What would we call this business of ours?
What was the law firm that they had on the Three Stooges? Something Cheatham and Howe.
Yeah.
Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe.
Yeah, Dewey Cheatham and Howe.
Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe.
There we go. We got her. That might be the name for our show. You know, we've been
Dewey,
looking
Cheatham,
for
and
it.
There you
Howe.
go.
I
Dewey,
like
Cheatham,
it.
and Howe.
We have discussed some
Getting t-shirts
crazy
made.
stuff today. But if you're going to Chicago and you have a Hyundai or a Kia, come and trade your car in at Heritage Automotive, 2122 North Locust Avenue, right here in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
That's right. We are actually, and I think more appropriately called the Organic Fertilized Distribution Group.
I like that. I like that. And don't look that up in the Urban Dictionary.
Yes.
We're taking the guys to Strikers today because they have endured the heat. Kevin and his...
Can I come?
Absolutely. Come on.
Come on.
Kevin and his colleagues out in the shop have
We'll
endured
continue
some of the
this
hottest
conversation.
weather. So, yeah, we can. We can talk about frivolous lawsuits. But we're right on the edge of the day. Thank you for listening to our show today. And we got about 2 minutes to wrap up. Kevin, you want to say something before we leave?
I don't know. I don't know if I have anything.
Well,
Hey,
I'm almost out of words already today, Jeff. But dun, 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 dun.
Go surfing. Say hello to Barbara Crouch. She listens to us. She says she loves the show too.
Oh, cool deal.
Good.
Yeah.
Good
Barbara, good morning.
And
So-
hey, we appreciate the phone calls this
Yeah,
morning. too.
man,
That
yeah.
was fun.
And
I'll report back to you guys if I get in trouble. If Amy, because Amy watches the show, either if she don't get to watch it live, she'll watch it.
Listen, I've been doing this a long time. Sooner or later, you're going to get in trouble with your wife. I'm telling you.
Oh my
mine's
goodness!
always sooner.
Is it sooner than later,
Oh,
and
man,
more
yeah.
often than not?
Yes.
I'll tell you. Well, the coffee's good. Today is early, so if you haven't got out of bed yet, this is a great day. The Lord's made a great day for you to get up and get out
Amen.
and get around, and so make the most of it.
That's right. Get out there and make the most of it. Keith Durham
And Kevin
and
Smith.
Kevin Smith. Sometimes the
It's
file
the
ain't there. I
easiest.
don't know why.
It's the easiest things when we start
I
getting
don't know.
dementia. The easiest things go first.
That's right. So but I wanted to say from Heritage Automotive, our good friends up there,
Yeah.
you guys
about that?
sponsoring the show here and having a lot of fun doing it too.
We sold a self-driving truck yesterday, and I got to demonstrate it to the guy, and he was.
Is there another one up there we can ride in?
Yeah, the one that I drove
We
is
got
still
another
there.
one in.
Come and drive.
I've got to do that with you.
Yeah, you got to do it. You're
That
going to be
sounds fun.
amazed.
My wife will know what the deal is on that, and I said, well, that's because when the guy's driving, there's always this woman trying to tell you how to drive. Now you don't have to do that.
So now what they need to do is have the technology that if you're a thief and you're in that truck, to have it to drive you to jail.
Yeah.
There you go.
Turn around and drive you to jail.
We got to go, guys.
Got to go. See ya.
All right. See you guys.
Prospect Communications.
It's the day after Hurricane Idalia hit. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
There has been significant damage, particularly